Now we'll see how to draw network diagram based on the given information. Here I've taken one illustration. An assembly, an assembly to be made from two parts, X and Y. Both parts must be turned on a lathe and Y must be polished, whereas X need not be polished. The sequence of activities together with their predecessor is given below. Here the problem is like this. Here activity is given A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. A represents opening work order. B is get material for X, get material for Y, turn X on lathe, turn Y on lathe, polish Y, assemble X and Y, pack. The predecessor activities are A is preceded by nil. Activity A is preceded by nil. B is preceded by A, and C is preceded by A, and D is preceded by B. E is preceded by B and C, and F is preceded by E. G is preceded by D, F, and H is preceded by G. This is an ending activity. So he is asking how draw a network diagram for the project. This is one information is given. So based on this information, now we have to draw a network diagram. How to draw a network diagram? We see, just don't see, I'll explain one by one here. First, activity A is preceded by nil. That means first you draw one event, one circle, and another circle, draw an arrow, first one. This is an initial one. This is preceded by nil, means so 1, 2 is preceded by none. So this 1, 2 activity is preceded by none, means before that no activity was there. So this is a starting activity. Just we'll mark it as 1 and 2. You can give numbers 1 and 2. So now this is called activity A. On arrow you write this activity name A. This is A. Now what you have to do is go to second one. Don't say these are all numbers now. One by one I'll explain. So activity B. Activity B is preceded by A. Means what? If you want to start activity B, A must be completed. Activity A must be completed. Now you take one more arrow from 2 to 3. This is next to 2 to some number. That means the next number automatically 3. So just you name it as that arrow. This is an activity B. So 1 to 2 is over, 2 to 3 is over. Now activity, now C. Activity C is what? It is again preceded by A. Means it cannot start from here. Again, this activity is here. This is preceded by A. It must satisfy this condition. C must be preceded by A. Means if you want to start, A must be completed. Here you have to draw one more arrow from 2 to this. Already we have given 3 here. Now you give 4 number here. Just write on the arrow, this is activity C. Now we go to next one, D. What is D actually? D is preceded by B. So D is preceded by B. This one, D is preceded by B. Just you draw one line, your arrow here, one number. This is called D. Okay. E. Activity E is preceded by B and C. Activity E is preceded by B and C. That means if you want to start this E activity, B and C must be completed. Here B is there and C is there. So both should be joined here. That is why there is no link is given in the problem. That is why I've taken one dummy arrow, dummy activity. It consumes nothing, 0 time. So to get that sequence, I've used this dummy activity. 3 to 4 is a dummy activity. So now, so this 4 to 5 is F activity. Sorry, E activity. Activity E. 4 to 5 is E. E is preceded. What is this? E is preceded by B and C. So E, it is satisfying. This right here E. This is preceded by B and C activity. Anyway, that is dummy. Anyway, we do not consider, but some link is there. We join these two, means to get the common, that is a link here. So I've used this. This is 5. This is 6. Don't worry about the numbers here. So next, F. F is preceded by E. F is preceded by this E. Then G is preceded by D comma F. D comma F. Again, you have to join these two. Otherwise, we cannot make this. Why? D, F, G is preceded by D and F both. So this is a common one. D and F. So G is preceded by D and F. Separately, we cannot take. We should join these two. You should draw a straight arrows always. You cannot draw arrow like curve. Like this you cannot use. Off curves like that. It's just straight. Whatever the angle it is, just you draw straight. Then H is preceded by G. H is preceded by G. This is the last event. The starting event is 1 and the last one is 8. In between, any numbers can be changed, no problem. So if you want to give, this is 4, this is 3, this is 6, 5, like that, no problem. But ending event always you'll get the 8 only here. Next, one more illustration we'll take up. Draw a network diagram. So here also, like previous question, here we are given the activity. A is preceded by nil, B is preceded by A, C is preceded by B, D is preceded by B, E is preceded by B, F is preceded by C, G is preceded by C, H is preceded by F, comma G, and I is preceded by D, E, and H, and J is preceded by I. Now we draw the network diagram. First, we start with activity A. Z1 to 2. This is activity A because A is preceded by nil. So this is a starting activity A. So now we go to then B. B is what? B is preceded by predecessor activity A. Means if you want to start B, A must be completed. That means before that, A must be completed. Okay, this is satisfying. Just you draw one more arrow, number you give as 3 here. This is activity B. C activity is preceded by B. C is preceded by B. You can draw the downwards or upwards. You don't see the shape here. Just you draw whatever the way. If you want to take C down, you can take upwards. You can take. No problem. The shape is not so important, but it must satisfy the conditions. So 3 to 4, that is C activity. So D is again preceded by B. D is also preceded by B. Again, you have to take from this only, this event only. One more arrow you draw. Then E is preceded by B. E is also preceded by B. A. Okay. E is also preceded by B. Then F is preceded by C. F is preceded by C. F is here. Okay. This is preceded by C. And G is preceded by C. G is also preceded by C. This one. So H is preceded by F and G. Okay, H is preceded by G and F. So there is, we cannot put, you cannot draw the two arrows to one event like this from one event. Okay, should go to one other event, then you should come to this. Like this you can draw. Okay, that is why I've used here to link these two. I've used one dummy arrow. This is 6. Then I is preceded by D, E, H. D, E, H. D, E, H. Here you have to link these 3. So I cannot draw here. So I have to use one dummy arrow. This one. So J is preceded by, sorry, I is preceded by, H is preceded by, FG is over. I is preceded by D, E, H. D, E, H. This one. Okay. This is a E1. D, E, H. So I've used here dummy. So J is preceded by I. J is preceded by I. Here this is 10. You can give anyway, any number. So start from 1 and end with 10. So in between, whatever the order is this, you use a sequence. Okay, like that. If you draw, you'll get the answer.